emotional, stunning admission. 2020 on ABC and stream on Disney Plus and Hulu.
So Anna's is on the Behind the Table podcast today. We want you to have a great day, everybody. Take a little time to enjoy the view and don't let this all get you down, because we're in it together and we'll get out of it together. We'll see you tomorrow.
Troy Jackson bragged about being one of Graham Plattner's earliest supporters. When the news of Plattner's Nazi tattoo came out, Jackson stood with Plattner. When Plattner blamed women for getting raped because they get drunk, Jackson stood by Plattner. And when the media reported Plattner was violent toward women, Jackson stood again with Plattner.
I want to say thank you very much to Troy.
Don't be fooled by Troy Jackson. He's another phony we can't trust. Pine Tree Results PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Invest in your nest with the County Federal Credit Union. Your home has grown in value season after season. With the county's 10-10 Home Equity Line of Credit, you can borrow up to your credit limit over 10 years with interest-only payments over those 10 years, 10-10. And then you can stop and smell the roses, soak up the sun, and invest in your nest. The 10-10 Home Equity Line of Credit, the County Federal Credit Union, countyfcu.org.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
A juvenile has been charged with arson in connection with a fire. 7 people were asleep in the home at the time. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. The city of Ellsworth is proposing a new RV park, and not everyone is happy about it. And a new partnership could help ongoing frontline healthcare staffing shortages. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, happy Wednesday afternoon. Definitely a nice one out there. We have a lot of sunshine. We'll have some clouds approaching today, but the winds will be a lot calmer as high pressure sets up shop across the region. As we do zoom things out, you see a little bit of activity farther down toward the south, especially by Washington, D.C., and over the ocean as well. Some activity even further off towards the west. That won't be affecting us. We'll be calm for a few days thanks to high pressure, but eventually we'll have more activity entering our backyard soon. Futurecast as we do move forward. Again, some clouds to the south. The rest of the state looking rather quiet. Again, overall a partly cloudy sky in some areas today, while other spots plenty of sunshine. We'll have some clouds passing through tonight and the parts of your Thursday. But in the meantime, look at this. Partly cloudy to mostly sunny. It will be hot out there. Dew point's not too bad with highs in the low 90s and that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Moving ahead towards tonight, partly cloudy again with lows in the low 60s and that wind overall looking nice and calm. And then moving ahead towards tomorrow, mid 90s, getting hotter with a partly cloudy sky and that southwest breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Hourly forecast, lots of sunshine and some clouds. Temperatures in the 90s and then cooling off. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. A juvenile has been charged with arson in connection with a fire in Oakland. Public safety spokesman Sharon Moss says that the fire happened on July 26 at a residence on Liberty Hill Road. At the time of the fire, there were 5 children and 2 sleeping adults inside the home. She says working smoke alarms alerted an occupant to the fire, allowing everyone to escape without injury. According to Moss, quick suppression efforts by the Oakland Fire Department contained much of the fire to one bedroom and the hallway area of the second floor. After completing a scene examination and speaking with witnesses, she says investigators determined the fire was intentionally set. The juvenile has been taken to the Long Creek Youth Development Facility in Portland. The city of Ellsworth is proposing a new RV park. However, not everyone is on board with the plans. Sam Miller has more.
The Ellsworth Planning Board has proposed a new RV park on Bayside Road next to Alton Avenue. The proposed plan includes a 28-site campground for recreational vehicles which would accommodate full RV hookup sites with water and electricity, as well as additional parking for extra vehicles. Locals on Alton Avenue, the street adjacent to the site of the proposed park, have pushed back against it. believing the park would be a disturbance to the neighborhood.
We live in a very quiet, wooded neighborhood, and to have transient residents right by us, transient campers, is going to impede our tranquility and our way of life on this neighborhood.
Kelly Brackett has lived on Alton Avenue since 2017 and says that the community is concerned about traffic, environmental impacts, property values, and overall safety. She clarified that she isn't against the idea of an RV park in general, but believes there are other appropriately zoned areas that would better suit the needs of visiting campers.
And it puts the campers in a closer proximity to amenities and direct routes that can handle large RV traffic and more traffic on the way down to Acadia. It just makes more sense all around for it not to happen here.
Ellsworth City Manager Charlie Pierce says the proposal was going through the planning board, and he aims to make sure that the rights and interests of everyone involved are protected.
Sometimes it can be solved in 1 meeting, 2 meetings, 3 meetings, 4 meetings, like whatever it takes for us to make sure that all voices at the table are being heard, both from the business and the property owners' perspective for this proposal, and also the residents and the communities that live nearby, and trying to create as robust of a process as we can for people to be heard and for the City Council to make their decision, but also giving the planning board the independence they need to make their decision based on our current laws and rules.
In Ellsworth, Sam Miller, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Senator Angus King is introducing a bill to help fight mosquito-borne diseases. The Strengthening Mosquito Abatement for Safety and Health Act, or SMASH, would reauthorize funding for federal mosquito control and public health response efforts. Senator King says, quote, "One of the best parts of living in Maine is being able to spend time outdoors, but the threat of dangerous illnesses from mosquito bites is a real concern. Mosquitoes are more than just a nuisance. They have the potential to transmit dangerous diseases which threaten public health. Acting to prevent the spread of such diseases is essential to protect the health of Maine people and Americans nationwide." Brewer Deputy Mayor Bill Kimball has resigned from the City Council. Assistant City Manager Jason Moffett said the city received notice of Kimball's resignation on July 29th, effective immediately. Moffett said Kimball cited increasing work commitments. His departure leaves 4 members on the City Council. The City Council plans to address the resulting vacancy at the upcoming meeting on August 11th and determine the next steps. However, Moffett said it's likely the Council will put the position on the November ballot. A new partnership among Maine's healthcare industry leaders and community colleges is working to expand short-term healthcare training opportunities. The Harold Alphonse Center for the Advancement of Maine's Workforce and Maine's community colleges have been training the state's healthcare workers for decades through short-term workforce training programs. These programs have been expanded in recent years to help address chronic frontline staffing shortages for roles such as medical assistants and medical emergency technicians. This new effort unites healthcare systems, hospitals, and education partners to create training programs designed by industry experts.
Maine's workforce is aging, and the healthcare industry is one of Maine's largest, and employers are struggling to fill positions. And so they're looking to collaborate, and we really need to come together to collectively solve our workforce challenges, in this case through short-term accelerated workforce training strategies.
Short-term programs are typically offered at no cost to students. Last fall, over 3,000 students were enrolled in degree and certificate healthcare programs, a nearly 80% increase since 2019. Northern Light Health Eastern Maine Medical Center has earned some national recognition. U.S. News World Report is highlighting the hospital's commitment to clinical excellence, patient care, and community service in its 2026-27 Best Hospital rankings. The hospital got a high-performing specialty badge in cardiology and heart vascular surgery. They received a Best Regional Hospital badge in 5 types of care, as well as a Best Regional Hospital for Community Access medallion. Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center President Ava Collins says, quote, "Achieving high-performing status across multiple cardiac procedures and conditions while also being honored for community access underscores our mission to deliver exceptional care close to home for people of Maine." Volunteer Maine held its 40th annual leadership conference and announced a grant that will support volunteering across the state for the next 3 years. Our Calvin White has more.
Volunteers from multiple industries converged on Augusta for the 40th Maine Volunteers Leadership Conference, with a focus on the local volunteering sector.
The theme for this year is Mainers helping Mainers. The idea that no matter what, wherever you go, whether you're brand new to the state or you've born and raised here in Maine, one thing is absolutely clear: Mainers step up to help Mainers.
She says that vital industries in Maine like conservation, education, food security, and elder care rely heavily on volunteer workforces. Volunteer Maine says their goal is bridging the gap between the people who volunteer, the organizations who need them, and the leadership who makes everything run smoothly.
So in the last few years, we've seen just a general more interest in volunteerism, whether that's organizations trying to grow their volunteer programs or just the general community being interested in volunteering again.
Some attendees were new to Maine, but excited to learn how to best help the community.
I think something that today really offers, at least for us kind of being newer to the volunteering community in Maine, is seeing kind of what's out there, how people are collaborating with one another and engaging with different groups.
It's such a rural state that in a lot of ways communities are more isolated, but in my experience living here now for a year, it almost has more capacity in that way. It's such a strong community sense.
The organization's 40th straight year wasn't the only cause for celebration. Volunteer Maine also announced that a new 3-year grant of over $300,000 annually will help them fund even more training.
We're not going to create anything new. We're going to try to support what already exists so that they could do their work even better.
Anyone interested in finding volunteer opportunities should visit servemaine.org. In Augusta, Calvin White, ABC7, Fox 22 News.
Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, we'll tell you about a massive volcano eruption. We'll be right back.
Keep your boat safe, functional, and beautiful with a Shoremaster boat lift from Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales rep can help you choose the perfect lift for your boat. Shoremaster's exclusive Whisper winch offers the industry's smoothest and quietest operation. Add speed and convenience with a Shoremaster lift motor. And Shoremaster's modular Infinity design makes it easy to upgrade with accessories when you're ready. Take your boating experience to the next level with a Shoremaster boat lift from Hammond Lumber Company.
30 years living that Washington, D.C. lifestyle. That'll change a person. Getting rich from insider stock trading should be illegal. But Susan Collins doesn't think so. Susan Collins wants to keep it so senators can play the stock market, make millions of dollars doing it. Why we struggle to pay for gas, groceries, health insurance, the basics. For them to get all that money, why we're paying more, it's not right. It's not right. Tell Susan Collins to stop this congressional stock trade.
People ask me all the time, are those commercials really true? Does Lowry & Associates really get all of those clients, all of those big settlements? Yes, we do. We really have gotten millions of dollars for Mainers hurt by commercial vehicles. And the insurance companies know when you call the twos, we're going to fight for you. And you know what else is true? I really am standing on top of this big truck.
Hurt by a big truck? Call the twos. We win for you.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Around here, you take pride in your home, and who you trust to work on it matters. That's why folks turn to AF&F Carpentry. From kitchens and custom woodwork to full home renovations, we bring military-grade discipline and focus to every project. Our work has been featured on Operation CEO. No shortcuts, no surprises, just solid craftsmanship you can count on. AF&F Carpentry, serving Maine homeowners with pride.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The number of cyclosporasis cases across the country has now topped 20,000. Now Chick-fil-A has taken a number of items off the menu because of it.
The record-breaking number of parasite infections is growing, reaching nearly every state in the U.S. More than 22,000 cases of cyclosporiasis now reported in 47 states, according to the latest CDC figures. The FDA has linked many of those cases in certain states to iceberg lettuce served at some Taco Bell restaurants. The supplier of the ingredient, Taylor Farms, issued a voluntary recall of all their lettuce products supplied from central Mexico. Health officials are hopeful that with the contaminated products now removed from the food supply, the number of new cases will start to come down. But they continue to investigate for any other potential sources that also may be causing illnesses. In North Carolina, health officials say that many sick people reported eating parsley and cilantro. Meanwhile, Chipotle now saying they have removed jalapenos from some of their restaurants in certain states after the ingredient was believed to be linked to a salmonella outbreak. The Minnesota Health Department saying they're investigating more than 110 cases in their state tied to the outbreak. Health officials say that if you are severely ill for more than a few days, talk to your doctor about testing and treatment options. Yuri Benajad, ABC News, New York.
Vice President J.D. Vance hosted members of Congress at an anti-fraud roundtable discussion. Roughly 20 members from both the House and Senate were in attendance as Vance discussed potential legislative action in order to crack down on fraud.
Let's estimate it conservatively so that we can give the American people the most rock-solid explanation of how this task force is working to protect their money. We've been able to stop $56 billion in fraudulent payments that would have otherwise gone to fraudsters rather than to the people who need them. And in the process, we've saved, obviously, the American people a lot of money.
This comes shortly after the Justice Department announced Tuesday that it is expanding its Northeast healthcare fraud strike force to Philadelphia over concerns of alleged Medicare and Medicaid fraud involving home healthcare services. Family members of active duty U.S. service members have been detained by federal immigration authorities following the Trump administration's termination of protections for military families. This comes as the administration expands its deportation efforts. According to an Associated Press investigation, at least 55 spouses and parents of U.S. soldiers have been detained. Many have had to spend months in ICE custody while facing removal proceedings. While many family members have since been released from custody, they continue to face deportation proceedings. Service members say they don't understand how this could happen if they followed all of the right steps.
This time they decided to, your wife is being deported. You don't even have to wait for her here. And I'm like, I'm confused. We got all this paperwork being done and we're doing the right thing. We've been coming into your appointments and just trying to do the right thing. Why are you doing this? Why are you breaking this family apart and making us go through all these emotional roller coasters?
This comes as the U.S. expands military operations in the Middle East, with former military officials warning that detaining the spouses and parents of service members could undermine troop readiness and pose a potential national security concern. A severe eruption of Central America's most active volcanoes keeps many Guatemalans on high alert. Over 600 people were evacuated from Guatemala yesterday following an eruption of the Fuego volcano. Monday, video showed lava and ash near the volcano, which is considered part of Pacific Ring of Fire. The country's disaster management agency says people were evacuated from 8 villages in the danger area, and they are being housed in nearby shelters. Authorities are warning the ash could spread to surrounding towns. This comes a year after another eruption spurred preventative evacuations, and a 2018 eruption killed hundreds and destroyed a village. After the break, a Greenville man is taking a long walk with a very important goal. We'll tell you about it when we return.
Jado Highlands Golf Course, nestled in the woods of Lincoln, just a short drive from Bangor or Holton. Designed for players of all abilities, Jado features everything a golfer desires. 18 fully irrigated holes, driving range, practice green, and a golf shop with instruction available. Jado maintains quality course conditions while proudly displaying some of the most scenic views in Maine. Challenge yourself to a round of golf surrounded by the beauty of Maine at Jado Highlands Golf Course.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Dexter, is brought to you by Comfort Shoes, offering a wide selection of casual work and athletic styles, alongside custom orthotics and specialty shoes. Rove's Bike in Orono. We offer a full range of bicycles, as well as maintenance, repairs, and apparel. Kings Mountain RC. Find everything you need for your remote control vehicles at our Harvey store and brewer.
I'm a fifth-generation logger and the son of a public school teacher. A dad who worked 16-hour days, and that still wasn't enough. So when they tried to replace us with foreign labor, I led a blockade of the border. Susan Collins didn't help us then, and she's certainly not helping us now. We're all getting crushed out here. Healthcare, housing, heat. We've got to fight back. We're all hungry for it. Maine is ready for a change. I'm Troy Jackson. I'm running for Senate, and I approve this message.
Honey, where's the countertop?
I sent it out to the granite shop this morning to be replaced.
Wow.
The quickest turnaround in the business, the Granite Shop in Sedgwick.
Cancer affects everyone, but there is hope. Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center's Champion the Cure Challenge. Make a difference for our loved ones facing cancer at Champion the Cure Challenge, where every dollar raised helps patients in our own backyard. Walk, run, or cycle August 15th. Join the motorcycle ride or car show August 16th. Take the challenge to surround family and friends in cancer treatment. Celebrate survivors, remember loved ones we've lost, and lift up our community. Join us. Visit ctcchallenge.org.
Every year, there's one vegetable that, for one reason or another, becomes what I call the veggie of the year. Maybe it's because it's been touted as some kind of superfood or because of its versatility. This year, that veggie has to be cauliflower. Growing up, most of us probably had it steamed with a bit of salt and pepper, which is good, but pretty boring. Then moms discovered that if they smothered it with cheese sauce, they could disguise it and the kids would eat it. And as its popularity grows, so does our creativity. These days, we see it boiled and mashed as an alternative to mashed potatoes, chopped and baked like a flatbread, and even breaded with all sorts of stuff. I think one of my new favorites is cauliflower coated in seasoned panko breadcrumbs, accented with Parmesan cheese, and skillet fried until it's golden. You see, cooking cauliflower with breadcrumbs and cheese like this gives it a rich, nutty taste. And the nice thing about these is you can serve it as an appetizer or as a welcome addition to any main dish. I do hope you'll go online and get the recipe for Parmesan-crusted cauliflower, along with more cauliflower recipes, so you can experience firsthand just how versatile it can be. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a crispier way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
A man from Greenville is putting one foot in front of the other on a journey meant to help children he may never meet. Nathaniel Douglas is walking hundreds of miles from central Maine to Boston, raising money for Boston Children's Hospital. Alex Schley has more.
About 240.
That's the number of miles Greenville native Nathaniel Douglas will walk over the coming weeks, all to raise money for Boston Children's Hospital.
And I think people think they can't do anything, but like, I'm by no means a special guy. I'm like just some dude from like the middle of Maine, and if I can do this, I think people can change things in their everyday life and hopefully touch their neighbors, touch their communities.
Douglas began his journey in Bangor on Tuesday, and this isn't his first time overcoming a challenge to help local kids in need. In 2013, Douglas and his brother made a similar walk.
We had like no resources. We didn't even have smartphones. I had like Google Maps printed out on paper.
A couple years later, he faced his own battle.
Early 20s, I ended up having like a non-cancerous tumor that was just in like kind of a gnarly spot in my noggin.
Douglas's friend and co-worker at Northern Light Mayo Hospital, Jacob Beckwith, joined Douglas on the first day of his walk.
If there's anybody that I know that can do it, it's Nathaniel Douglas. You know, he's done great things.
And while the walk will test his endurance, he expects the finish line to be the hardest part.
And they're gonna give me like one of those big fake checks to like hand off. And then there's like, dude, they're gonna get me crying on camera. There's like, yeah, there's some families that like wanna meet you and stuff. Oh, that's so nice. And I was like, you're gonna make me cry. Don't do that, please.
For Douglas, the goal isn't just to raise money. He says it's to show ordinary people can do extraordinary things one step at a time. To support Douglas's walk and his fundraiser for Boston Children's Hospital, go to our website, foxbangor.com. I'm Alex Schley reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
band here. You know, I thought growing up would be the worst, but then I found a way to hack adulthood. It's called AAA. With AAA, I'm covered from roadside to poolside, and insurance and member perks that make adulting a breeze. With AAA, it pays to be a member.
I went to work in the woods after high school. The harder we worked, the more that the companies took from us. That's why we organized. We made them listen. People are doing everything they can right and still cannot get ahead. Susan Collins keeps telling us everything is just fine. Who has she served? She has served Donald Trump. She has served the billionaires. She has served herself. We are getting screwed, and I'm running to change that.
Government that works PAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
Do you have a wet basement, nasty crawl space, settling foundation, sinking concrete, or clogged gutters? I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems, all things basementy. For over 30 years, thousands of homeowners throughout Maine and southeastern New Hampshire have trusted TC Hafford. Basement waterproofing, crawl space repair, stabilizing foundations, concrete leveling, and gutter installation. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems for all things basementy.
Keep your vehicle running smooth this summer with help from Frost Garage.
It's really hot in my car all the time.
We'll get you AC service, no problem.
Really pulls to one side and shakes a lot.
Sounds like you need some front-end work, not a problem.
It really used to fly. Now it barely just chugs along.
Could just need a tune-up. We'll take a look.
No matter the issue, Frost Garage will keep your vehicle safe all year long.
I'd say it flies now.
Driving is what drives me. But when the day winds down, it's back to the daily drive. That's why I choose AAA Auto Insurance. Wherever the road leads, AAA is by my side.
Let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, Susan, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. Wave heights not looking too bad. One of the buoys reporting showing 2-foot wave heights at this point. The other one not reporting, but you can see the contours looking very calm at this point. Other areas to the north and east a little more active, but overall not too bad. 4-foot wave heights farther out towards sea. Water temperatures as we check things out, again lower 60s, again according to this buoy, but other areas again looking a little bit warmer, cooler right about in here, and even some 60s here and 70s farther off towards the east. Meanwhile, as we do take a look at things, lots of sunshine out there this afternoon. We are going to see a few passing clouds again as we do push forward today and also into tonight, but overall we are going to be okay thanks to high pressure, and overall this system here leaving us alone, just some rain near Washington D.C. There's another one off toward the west bringing a lot of rain to parts of Iowa. That one's tracking east, but again we are going to be dry for a little bit. Lots of sunshine today, other spots seeing some clouds, but overall not too bad. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky tonight and also into parts of your Thursday, but the big headline will be the hot temperatures and a low to mid 90s coming up. Otherwise, again, you can see a few sprinkles moving into parts of the state, but overall for us, not looking too bad. Also into Thursday night, not looking too bad either. Just a few sprinkles trying to sneak in here. But otherwise, again, as we check out the muggy meter coming up, you can see dew points on the rise, lower 60s today and tomorrow. It's late tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, low 70s coming up. And in fact, even Saturday, some low 70s, Sunday and a Monday in the middle to upper 60s. So for today, here we go. So partly cloudy and hot, low 90s for the high, and that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, low 60s, partly cloudy, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. And then tomorrow, partly cloudy and hot, mid 90s for the high, and that southwest wind at about 5 miles per hour. And your extended forecast for your Friday, a partly cloudy sky. There is that slight chance for a storm with highs in the low 90s. That's when our next system gets in here. And then it gets in here even more Saturday, better chance for storms, highs in the mid 80s. And then Sunday, another chance for storms with highs in the upper 80s.
Thank you, Devin. With school right around the corner, local organizations are teaming up to ease the financial burdens of back-to-school shopping, one backpack at a time. Yesterday, Penquist and Heart of Maine United Way were outside of Walmart in Bangor for a fill-the-bus backpack drive. Penquist's annual We've Got Your Back school supply drive encourages community members to donate backpacks and essential school supplies to help families in Penobscot, Piscataquis, and Knox counties. Organizers say the donations are going to 1,200 students this year, and more are on the waiting list. They will be accepting donations between now and August 13th. Supplies can be dropped off at any Penquist location. Donations can also be made online at penquist.org. Baoli the giant panda is 5 years old, and to celebrate, a shark-themed celebration got underway at the Smithsonian National Zoo Tuesday. Crowds looked on as Baoli bit into his panda-friendly fruity ice cake topped with some of his favorite foods. This is Baoli's second birthday at the zoo. Baoli came to the zoo in 2024 and is one of the few giant pandas currently living in North America. It's part of the zoo's panda conservation efforts in collaboration with China. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.
The terms were reasonable.
$500 a month. She wanted a 3-month commitment.
But she says her landlord
When did you move out?
2 months into the lease.
wasn't so level-headed.
Now you tell me why you moved.
Ooh. One, the house was unsafe. There's domestic abuse, fighting. There were also problems with her. She's an alcoholic. She's a criminal. It's chaos all the time.
Next, Judge Judy.
Wednesday at 5 on ABC 7.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The following is a paid advertisement for Plexiderm Skincare.
Watch this. It's all 100% real. Witness what happens to this woman's bags under her eyes in an actual time lapse in just minutes. Nothing has been doctored or tampered with. The very real problem will disappear before your eyes and hers with a revolutionary topical formulation that works in just minutes, and the effects will last for hours and hours. Over 1 million people are successfully using this topical technique to visually reduce puffiness and bags. It works on sagging jowls, even fine lines and wrinkles on the face and forehead. Introducing Plexiderm from Sheer Science. In just minutes, you can restore and beautify your face, even look years younger. It's not shiny and leaves no other appearance but the real you behind. Yes, it makes you look young without makeup, and the look will last all day or all evening. You may not even want any concealer when you can look years younger in minutes. In the following moment,